Sam, just be honest. You hate the Brits.
Huh?
You,
No, I
you hate
mean, I'm not over the War of 1812. I'm not gonna lie. It's
Sam,
still
who do you
hits me to
hate
this
more?
day.
Who do you hate more, the
Land of
Brits
Norse.
or the French?
The French hasn't done anything to me in a long time. Okay, so once I see Alpine on the top step, come back to me.
Questioning my choices for my shot now.
Too late, Ryan.
Oh,
It has
no.
been poured. The die has been cast. Because you know why, Ryan? It's a motherfucking Cooldown Rundown.
You're goddamn right it is.
Chinese Grand Prix recap. And there's only one way to really start the podcast off. Now, Ryan, what drink do you have to start it off?
Just for the sake of the pod, it's of course just my classic beer.
Okay,
which
I thought so.
I'll gladly open up. Cheers.
God, cheers, buddy. Cheers. Okay. We'll save the real drink here in a second, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. I gotta nurse that beer for right now.
Papa's been cooking. China, dude. 2 races in a row, 2 hot tracks, man.
Yes.
Great overtakes, some great fighting. Quickly, what was your thoughts, man? What did you think of the Chinese Grand Prix?
You've already said it best, Sam. I mean, it's chaos. It's very entertaining to watch these cars battle each other on track. There is action all over the grid, whether it's reliability issues, whether it's wheel-to-wheel action, whether it's against another team or your teammate. Yeah, so I was very pleased. I was entertained the entire time. I personally just love Shanghai's track. I think it has a really awesome layout, a lot of good turns. I love the back straight. So all in all, great weekend for me. And obviously, Ferrari did pretty well, so I can't complain.
Yeah, I think you hit it perfectly right. Entertaining was the right word there. It was such a fun watch for majority of the race. We got Kimi Antonelli on the top step. George had to fight for his, right? Both of our bets did not happen. Max was nowhere near the podium. Your double Ferrari podium almost worked. Your bet for our championship almost hit.
I know. Well, hey, it did hit technically for the sprint race, but that's not what the bet was, though.
Not what
Unfortunately,
Vegas was saying.
I know.
So now it's time to pay the Pied Piper, Ryan, and we have to pay up. So I am drinking my standard tequila. What is it that you cooked up over there in your monstrosity?
Well, Sam, I just like to punish myself for whatever reason. I don't know why. But it is St. Patrick's weekend here in Chicago. They just dived the river yesterday. So I figure with good old-fashioned, keep it in the spirits, do a little Irish car bomb. Don't know how it got that name. Don't ask me. But yeah, so cheers, buddy.
Well, cheers, Ryan.
Oh, God.
Oh, well, I can't even complain watching that.
Had a little bit of a mustache right there. A mustache on my mustache.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're seeing a professional at work.
You are watching a master at work.
Yeah.
Surprisingly, it wasn't that bad, but I already did
I would
a few
hope
of those
so
yesterday.
after you've been practicing,
Hey, I mean, it's that time of year. You got to.
Yeah. And hey, Kimmy's been practicing like crazy, man.
He has.
Rookie last year, winner this year right away. I didn't think we were going to get I knew we were going to get a Kimmy win. I did not expect it to get it in the second race of the season.
It changes the whole dynamic of how I think the season's going to play out now.
Does it?
And I am
Okay.
so excited about that, Sam. I mean, first, let's just talk about this. He is the youngest pole sitter now in Formula One history, second youngest winner in F1 history, only behind Max Verstappen. He looked great. He looked great the entire weekend. He had to, fight. He had to get a little scrappy at first with Ferrari at the beginning of the race, but once it settled down, it was his the entire time. It was like classic watching Max in 2022, when we kind of forgot about the leader for so long because he was so far down the road.
True.
Yeah, so great job, Kimmy, and I hope this means that we might see even more wins from him this season and maybe have a little bit of a title fight with his teammate George. But
Do you
We'll
think
have to
that's
see.
actually? Do you think that's something that will happen? Do you think that this is a precursor for the rest of the season?
I think if we're already seeing, I mean, first off, he was pretty dominant in Australia. I mean, the Mercedes car is dominant in itself. So
Yeah.
to Kimi to already have a win under his belt at the second race of the season, I think already speaks volumes of where he's at as a driver now compared to last season. So I think there's no reason to we shouldn't count him out right now. You know, I think
Yeah.
anything's on the table for Kimi. So I'm
I will.
hopeful.
I will say it's a nice big step up from last year. He's had his little squabbles, his little hiccups here and there. He has speed. He does, and he's like
Hmm.
certain times he just is like the fastest man on track, which is impressive. And I think Toto said it best when he whispered into his ear at the end of the track. He's just like, "They said you were not good enough. They said you were too young. Look at you now." It's like, Jesus, Toto, calm down.
Well,
I
Toto's
thought-
just smiling because there's 3 Mercedes drivers on the
I
podium.
know. I want to get back to that. I think it's highly impressive. I do think Kimmy is there because of the lack of George a little bit. I guess I want to say because George did not get his Q3 run in qualifying.
Mhm.
He only got to go in once. He got one shot. He was 2 tenths behind Kimmy, Kimmy getting himself the youngest pole sitter in F1 history. And then because the Ferraris are good at these starts, George was the one that was hampered the most in that first lap kerfuffle. And then again after the safety car, and so like I feel like George wasn't there. When George is out, Kimmy can step up, which is perfect. I just would like to see if Kimmy can step up while George is still there fighting for the lead. My only takeaway that kind of contradicts what I'm just saying is Kimmy did a good job keeping the pace to George in those last 10 laps. Like the gap did not go down by that much, if at
And
all.
he didn't even have to use his overtake or boost or anything like that.
Yes.
He just had good race pace too, Sam.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, he didn't have to use his overtake because he wasn't overtaking.
Well, yeah.
anybody,
True.
open air.
very
So-
true. But like he just had good pace to keep himself with that gap.
That's true.
Um,
It's very true.
Another aspect too, speaking about like the kerfuffle of Ferrari and everything and George's struggles, George even said Ferrari is quick at the most inopportune times for him
Yeah.
everywhere on the track.
Yeah.
And one, I appreciate that because at least a Ferrari car is somewhat competitive. I know it's still not anywhere close to what Mercedes has right now for their package, but it is nice that they are, at least being a little annoying little piss ants, I guess, towards George
Yeah.
right now. So I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously these race starts are insane for the Ferrari, and I'm hoping that like Mercedes doesn't figure that out for a while, until like maybe the next year or until we get a shakeup. Because like if Mercedes figures out how to, secure their race starts, which it seems kind of impossible because Ferrari has almost designed their car specifically with this in mind, with the smaller turbo,
Because they
because they knew.
knew,
was
and
on
now
top of it.
everyone is being like, "Ooh, boo hoo! Please save us, FIA! Please save
Now,
us!"
imagine if we didn't have that little blue flag pre-race start. They get 5 seconds to charge their
Dude.
battery. Imagine if they didn't have that at all.
Ferrari be further down the road.
Dude, they would. They really would. So, I think Ferrari is in these moments, and especially in the beginning, they're able to go. And then something that I thought surprisingly today, they're hard on their hard tires. They warmed those up. They warmed those puppies up way faster.
Dude,
than
they did.
Mercedes
They really did.
and they really challenged George and cut through that pack. Because I think there's a couple stragglers that I think it was, I forget who, it was an Alpine, I'm pretty sure, and maybe even a Haas.
It was.
Who didn't pit. And they cut through them where George had to wait to get his tires up to temp. So it's like, if Ferrari can be smart, and I think Ferrari played it right this week. I don't think they played it right in Australia, but I think they played it right this week. But if a couple more wrenches go into these races where there's a standing start or if there's a red flag with another standing start with only 20 laps left to go kind of a thing, there's another safety car there at the end, like Ferrari can put themselves in positions to win races, maybe not championships, but to win races, and that's exciting.
I agree, and I think this will hopefully build momentum even into next year too. I know we're only 2
Yeah.
races in, but I'm already thinking about that. Where they're at right now with this car, leaps and bounds to whatever they had in the ground effect era. So I love it.
Yeah.
Another interesting point that you added there was just like the sheer pace of like the Mercedes car right now, and it's the disparity right now of how fast the Mercedes car is, especially in qualifying, because they're untouchable. They're absolutely untouchable. But it is very impressive to me that somehow Ferrari kind of cracked race pace a little bit. Like at least they are somewhat there for them, even if it's just for the first third of the race, and then the 2/3 Mercedes kind of once they get past them and they get that 1 second gap, they're pretty gone. But until then, Ferrari has a pretty good chance, and so it's really interesting to me just how different the cars behave from qualifying compared to an actual race right now. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in Suzuka here in 2 weeks, and then in Miami in May.
Yeah, well, what do you think of like Australia to China in the terms of spectacle racing? Because to me, Australia was pretty good, and then China was like, we can go even better.
Dude, no, it is so good. I'm sorry. There are so many people out there that are bitching about these racing regulations. I like them. I do like them. I think we know this is motorsport racing. We know that Formula One is about creating the best of the best cars. But if you have a certain type of regulations, you got to fit into those parameters, right? And one of the issues that we had for so long was we weren't seeing entertaining races. We weren't seeing enough battles on track.
Yep.
Call it artificial, call it whatever you want. More people are definitely going to be glued to the screen watching the race from start to finish now compared to anything we had in the past 5 years, in my mind. Dude, so I think
we used to watch guys like fight, just through a couple corners, and that was the only thing you got the entire race, and we would eat that shit up. We saw Lewis and Leclerc go at it for an entire lap, like side by side,
multiple times.
They fought each other for multiple laps, but they were literally that entire lap. They did not give up an inch to each other. That was like some grade A racing.
Yes,
run. It was so good.
So yeah, everyone that does not like this, I'm sorry. You just gotta have an open mind and just welcome in the new era of Formula One.
Well, put it in this perspective, Ryan. Like the DRS was introduced because the dirty air was so bad. Because the cars in front of them gave off so much dirty air that you could not, fight them after you got through a corner. So what did the F1 do? They introduced the DRS, which lets you open a wing and get an attack down the straight. That's artificial racing.
Yes.
They introduced a concept to the car, and then what happened? People passed on the straight, not even into like the turns or anything like that. So there's always a concept of adding a bit of artificialness to allow wheel-to-wheel racing. And if the goal is to have wheel-to-wheel racing, baby, we got it. We got it. We got it.
They cracked the code.
My biggest complaint with this regulation, Ryan, is it just needs to explain it more. They need to explain to the viewer what our battery levels are at, who's using it where, kind of a thing. Just a little bit more presentation. I'm still honestly confused on what the overtake is, on who gets that, I know it's a little extra percentage of the battery power. I don't know if it's for the person behind. I'm still a little confused myself, so I need to do some research. But the fact that I agree to do some research, is a fault on the FIA F1. But it's good racing, and you can't complain.
Yes,
you can't complain.
And if you do, just stop.
Stop it.
Get some help.
Get some help.
Well, we've already talked about two of the podium sitters, Sam. Both Mercedes drivers. Apparently, there's 3 Mercedes drivers on the podium today. So, Lewis getting his first podium for Ferrari. Finally, Sam, it happened, and I'm at peace. I could die a happy man at this moment. Yes, it is a great feeling, especially now that him and Carlos are now tied for podiums on their respective new teams. I feel better about this. I do.
Okay. I feel like you are what Guido from Cars would be. He'd be so happy that an Italian is on the top step and that Ferrari is on the podium.
Yep.
He's being represented, and you're just like,
Absolutely. I'm just happy to be here.
Yeah. I mean, he fought for it. He fought for it fucking hard, man.
He did. And, he had to fight Mercedes. He had to fight his teammate, and he was able to do it. He was also, this is also because of reliability issues. It's not because of skill or anything. He was the only current or standing World Drivers' Champion on the grid to actually survive the entire race. I just want that to be known.
It's known.
So yeah, I'm very happy for him. I thought that was really cool. It was cool for him to be up there with Kimmy too, and with George, and Bono was up there. I think that was
Yeah.
a beautiful podium celebration for all four of those people. So hats off to Lewis, hats off to Ferrari. I'm a happy boy.
I know he's all smiles because I think the difference from last year to this year is insane for him. Like it's
Oh,
just a
yeah.
complete flip, and to know that he still got it right.
Yes.
He can still fight in the ring.
Yep. All those Lewis haters, you can
yeah.
shut up now.
I'm curious to see how long this goes for once this honeymoon period goes. Because like, there's two instances. One, you talked about like Toto having 3 Mercedes drivers on there, on the podium, which is like a great testament to Toto's acumen of a businessman. But like, does Lewis ever regret maybe leaving Mercedes right now? Because like that could be. Because I think it's not a stretch of mind to say that Mercedes is at least going to run away with this championship for a significant portion of the season.
Yes.
And so, like, what if Lewis was there? What if, like, and then, like, in this fairyland, what if Lewis was fighting George this season for this? Like, what, that kind of, that'd been so fun. But
I agree. I definitely think there's some corner of his mind that's just like, man, if I was still in Mercedes, this would be a different season for me right now. But I do think, and I'm kind of repeating some things I said last season too, especially now that we have a new car for him, he feels more attached to it. He really jives with the new regs, all of this.
Yeah.
It's going to sting a little bit that he's not going to win his 8th in a Mercedes car, especially now that they're back.
Yeah.
But I do feel he is, I think he's at peace with it in some degrees. I think he already recognizes that the Mercedes car is just a runaway for this season.
Yeah.
Maybe he sees himself for next season. Maybe, unless Ferrari somehow brings up some insane packages to catch up technically. Well, I don't know. I think it's more of like somber, maybe. Just kind of at peace with it. It stings a little bit, but I don't know.
Well,
I go both ways.
We are getting something about you said about Ferrari getting possibly with these upgrades. We might get a new rule change halfway through the year, with Mercedes successfully changed the the compression test ratio that has for the engines. They kicked that down to the summer break, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've lost 2 races in April. To those who might not know, it's official that Bahrain and Saudi Arabia, Jeddah, the races are canceled. So that's 2 races left. 2 races down from the first half of this calendar that Mercedes might not get a huge runaway on. Like, that's some solid points. So, like,
I didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah, in this world, if Mercedes is hobbled a little bit, is a little bit slowed down on the second half, they lost 2 very important races for them to extend their lead.
Yeah. Sam, don't get me too excited.
The
yet,
year
okay?
of the horse. It's been.
I need to see Ferrari take the top spot before I get that excited right now. I'm just happy that they're on podium and they're the second best team on the grid right now. Okay.
You're in the honeymoon phase. I'm wanting to know when you get angry about Ferrari not getting their fullest potential.
Honest to God, Sam, I don't know what that will take for this season because of the shit I had to go through last year.
It's going to be an extreme fuck up. It's going to be I know what it is. It's going to be them throwing away a clear win. That's what's going to cause it. It's going because like what happened in Australia. I think we can both agree that even if they made the right call, they most likely lose that race.
Yeah,
I think there's going to be an instance. I would put a bet on it right now. If I'm allowed to put a bet on it, I'll put a shot on like 100 points that Ferrari throws away a race win due to strategy or doing to Ferrari fuck up. I don't know if we're allowed to do this in our championship, but I'm proposing it to you.
So okay, wait, hold on. Okay, so you're saying that it's clear it's a strategy issue and they throw away a race win.
We both have to agree that
yes,
Ferrari's decision costed one of their drivers a race win.
Sam, I'm gonna say no because basically I'm gonna be giving you 100 points because I know that's gonna happen.
100 points is less than a safe bet, Ryan.
Okay, Sam, we both have 0 points right now.
I know. All right, well, give me well, we might be changing our points scale to maybe get some more bets in here.
Let's put a pin in this conversation. Let's come back to this
okay,
to the
all right,
preview for Suzuka, and
Okay.
we'll come up with something. Okay.
I want you to keep in mind that if you want to negotiate the point cost for it, because if you think it's that likely, Vegas can lower the points for that.
Okay,
That's like an 80-point bet. I'm just out here. I'm making deals. This is Monopoly, baby. This is how I play Monopoly.
Dude, you are a
you and I have
monster.
played Monopoly. We just be making deals.
You're a fucking monster with
Yeah,
that game.
I'm
too.
telling you, right. I think we just unlocked something. This is how we do our championship, is by making
Chat.
deals.
Chat. I want to hear your opinion. What do you think would be a good point line
value.
for Sam's offer here? I want to hear what you have to think, and we'll come back to this when we do this preview for Suzuka.
Yeah. And keep in mind, chat, that our safe bet is worth 150 points that nobody has gotten. Our medium risk bet is worth 450, and our high risk bet is worth 1400.
We are restructuring a little bit during this
but like
2-week break.
Yeah, but I think those points are still like going. Those points will count to our championship correctly. It's just the bets we choose for it's going to change.
True.
So I'm only asking for 50 points less than a safe bet. Like it's less than a safe bet. So even if Ryan, like if nobody makes any points this entire season, and Ryan gets a safe bet and I get this Ferrari bet, I still lose. I think that's pretty reasonable.
You would have been a good lawyer. You know that?
There's still time, Ryan. There's still time.
There is still time.
Oh man. All right, what were we talking about? Ferrari's fuck ups in the future. All right,
Yes.
I know what I wanted to say. My other thing, we're still in the honeymoon phase, and I know everybody's like super excited that the cars are fun to fight with. Maybe not fun to drive, but fun to fight with. And seeing Lewis and Charles just go at it for laps, and Charles being like, "That was pretty fun," and like Lewis being like, "It was cool." Dude, I'm telling you, I wonder if there's going to be a moment in this season where they get feisty with each other. Because
okay.
I don't know. I'm of two minds of it. I would love to know your opinion.
I came here with thoughts, plenty of thoughts on this, because I knew this was going to come up, Sam. I have no issue with Charles and Lewis battling each other on track like this.
Same.
I am so thankful that Fred, no issues. He was just like, let him figure it out. Because like also, and I'm glad you agree. I really am. Because we bitched all of last year for papaya rules. And I'm glad that we both agree on this, that like, let the boys figure it out on track, especially these regulations, like the possibility for them to just like duke it out and just figure it out. It's awesome. It's great.
It's more papaya rules than what papaya rules are. Papaya rules is as long as you don't crash, you can do whatever you want, which is not true. They called them off. They made decisions to
literally Lewis and Charles kissed today. A little smooch, a very light one, a little peck.
Yeah.
Fred didn't say anything. He didn't intervene. He was like, the boys will figure it out. And I appreciate that he has the trust in them to fight cleanly as best as possible. I think, here's the thing, Sam. I think Ferrari and both Lewis and Charles are in the same mindset right now that they're not in it for a championship at this very moment.
I don't know.
They might be there for race wins eventually. I don't think they as a team even see themselves, at least for these first 3 races. I don't even think for Suzuka they're going to really see themselves in that position.
I think it's too early.
I
think it's
but I'm just saying, especially like let's take this race for example, okay? Kimi was down the road. He was already ahead by 7 seconds. George was already going away too. By the time Charles and Lewis were going against each other, it was like a 13-second gap, I think. Chat, you can quote me on that. Correct me if I'm wrong. So for them, there's not really an issue for the boys duking it out. I think if there becomes a situation down the road in the season where a win is on the line, if a win is on the line, then yes, someone has to concede. If they start stacking up wins and they start competing with Mercedes, then yes, I do think more team orders are going to happen. But right now, I don't care. I don't care. I'm
not arguing the team orders aspect at all. I'm arguing the friendliness, the competition, competition between between Leclerc and Lewis. Like, how long does that stay jovial? How long does that stay?
I mean,
happy?
Charles was pissed off after the sprint race a little bit.
It
'cause
was. He's like, does
yeah,
this guy not? Yeah. I mean, like,
yeah. I mean, so I think, but here's the you have the GOAT. You have a 7-time world champion on your team, and you have arguably one of the best drivers on the grid who hasn't gotten a championship yet. If he had the car, he probably already would have been one, right?
sure.
They have egos. They have temperaments. I definitely think we're going to see them spark and fight each other a little bit. But I also kind of think maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I think they kind of respect each other for like they're fighting a little bit. Because I was worried today that Charles was going to be pissed off with how aggressive Lewis was. And then he came over the radio and said, this has actually been pretty fun.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I really don't know. I think if it costs them wins, if it costs them a position in the championship, then I think they'll go outside and start brawling against each other. But otherwise, I don't know.
There's two things there. I think Crofty said that these are maybe two of the drivers that might be the most fair in their drivings.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think Lewis Hamilton, I think you can make an argument that Lewis Hamilton has lost points in the 2021 championship battle with Max Verstappen because he wasn't aggressive enough. Because like Max took him to the line every time, kind of a thing, right?
Yep.
And Lewis only did it once or twice, and like maybe he should have had his elbows more out. Leclerc, known to being like pretty fair, like on the corners, and
Proper
only
racing, Sam.
proper racing. Sure. Exactly. No, seriously. Like if like they're bringing the gentleman into this gentleman's sport, right?
Yeah.
But sometimes you need a bad guy to win a championship. But so like the fact that these two guys are fighting each other on track, and the fact that we got 6 to 7 laps of this really great battle. I didn't even try that one. I'm telling you, man, I'm bad. I'm brain rotted. There were so many times during qualifying, during the actual race, where Crafty's like, he's about 6 to 7 seconds away.
Dude, me too. Can we for us to edit this later? Just have the audio going again?
Officially dead. We're dragging it like crazy. There's something you said about the Ferrari not taking team orders, and I want to pitch about Formula One broadcasters for just like a half a second.
Okay, let me hear you, bitch. Let me hear it.
Small rant.
I'm ready.
So last year, Ryan, I don't know if you remember, but me specifically, I remember the entire year. It was thank you, McLaren, for allowing 2 drivers to fight each other for the championship. Thank you so much, McLaren.
Fight.
They literally said this in race 1. The like presenters, these journalists, the British bias was like, we are so thankful for McLaren.
Sam, just
like,
be honest. You hate
the bias. Huh?
You,
No, I mean, I'm not over the War of 1812. I'm not gonna lie. It's
Sam,
still
who do you
hits me to
hate
this
more?
day.
Who do you hate more? The
Lando
Brits
Norris.
or the French?
The French hasn't done anything to me in a long time. Okay, so once I see Alpine on the top step, come back to me. All right. So for an entire year, it was thank you. Today, thank you. Today, what I hear is maybe Ferrari should call one of their drivers off. Bitch, what? We're on race 2.
Yeah,
They're fighting respectfully. Like,
who said that again today? Was that Crofty or Jensen?
It was Jensen.
That kind of blows my mind that
who brought it
Jensen
up.
said that.
He brought that up, and then you know what? He also brought up when Max gave Gasly just a little smooch, just a little,
It was more than a smooch, I would say.
just a little tap, and Gasly called to the
It
left.
was not a little tap.
It was a little love tap. It was a little tap on the ass as he went by him.
It was not.
The stewards thought it was fine. Okay, you know what Crofty said, which is what I said. What Crofty said was like, "Let the boys play. Let them play. Let them race."
No.
Max goes up on the inside. He gets a little argy-bargy. He touches Gasly on the
Sam,
way
okay,
through.
but okay, hold on. I also
Who else went argy-bargy? So there's somebody else on this, in this team that went argy-bargy.
I'm going to interject here.
Huh?
Okay, here's the difference between our two drivers, Sam. Because Lewis gave Charles a little smooch, no one realized it on the fucking race or the review.
Oh, okay. So if it's just
later.
like if nobody recognized the sexual harassment, it didn't happen.
Oh, okay.
That's yeah.
Okay.
If it happens behind closed doors, it's okay. Is what I'm hearing.
Okay. Twist my words, why don't you? I'm just saying my guy is more of a proper racer than your aggressive RG Max
Just
Verstappen
because Max likes to be a little bit
fighting for 16th right now.
heavy-handed on the ass slap.
McQueen is fading.
Maybe
Fading fast.
Maybe Max put a little bit of a squeeze on that little ass slap, and Lewis just gave a little like blow of a kiss. But it's still harassment by HR standards that technically neither one of them got looked at. And all I'm saying is Jensen Button only called out one. He only called out one with his chest. And Crofty didn't even agree with it. Crofty was on my side. He said, let the boys race. That seemed like racing to me. The stewards agreed because it was noted, and the stewards agreed and did not take it any farther.
I mean,
Chat.
yeah.
Chat, let us know.
But I'm just saying, on the aggressiveness scale, Sam, Lewis is way more subtle and way more proper and distinguished and all of these things.
That's how you
Max
get away
is
with
over
it.
here just ready to beat the shit out of someone because he's
just
so
saying,
mad that
man.
his car is trash.
It's making me uncomfortable, and I would like to go to HR.
Oh, okay. Okay. Go cry to MBS.
Yeah, well, this is me crying to MBS right now. This is how I get my feelings out. This is me whistleblowing. Okay? Jesus. Well, what else? What else happened in this race, Ryan? Or what else didn't happen in this race?
Well, what didn't happen was the McLaren's on grid, Sam. No papayas. What happened?
We don't know. You know why? I got another rant for you. Got another fucking rant for you. Listen.
Okay, just go ahead. Pop off, King. Pop off.
24, what was it? I texted it to you.
Lap 22 was the contact, so it was like 3 or 4 laps afterwards.
It was 3 or 4. It was lap 29 or so. Okay, you know what? They pull up Lando Norris on the radio to ask him, what's wrong with your car? Do I give a fuck? No, because their car isn't racing. I don't care. If your car's not in the fucking race.
He is the driver's champion, though. This is the constructor's championship. Come on.
If you're not racing, I will read about it later. No, I'll read about it later. Because you know what was happening in this moment? While they're talking to bitch-ass Lando. Let me rephrase.
How dare you disrespect the world's driver
one of our
champion.
listeners praised me recently for being like nice to Lando. So instead of listening to Lando give me a non-answer, because they said, hey, what's wrong with the car? And Lando jumped around. Well, we don't, he did not give a clear answer. You know what was happening? It was fucking Leclerc about to pass Lewis Hamilton for the first of their battles. And instead of hearing Crofty's lovely voice telling me what's about to happen, I'm listening to Lando not tell me what's wrong with his car that's not in the race. I was get off the radio.
I don't know.
Get off the radio, man. Let me there's the God of War is fighting on the track in China right now. Let me see it. Let me hear it. And I got to hear Lando talk to me about a car that isn't even on the fucking track. And he doesn't even tell me the answer.
Well, because he doesn't know.
I know. So why are we talking to him?
Because he's the driver champion and his car's not out there.
Dude.
I feel more bad for Oscar at this point. He has yet to drive a race in the new regulations. Dude. I mean, a sprint race, sure, but like an actual race.
Brother.
Dude,
I feel bad for 2 ways. One, I feel bad for his hairline because he needs to fix that ASAP. Secondly, he had a hot
Oscar
line,
just catching strays for no reason right now, Sam.
It's getting close to my kind of hairline. I'm telling you, man. You should have seen it. They get him at a bad angle.
I wasn't gonna say it, but
but hey, I'm not racing in China, but neither is Piastri. Whoa! Anyways, Piastri had a great line. He's like, "This is the first time I've watched 2 Formula 1 races back to back from the sidelines," and I was like, "God damn, that sucks, man.
Dude,
that sucks."
And you know what? Oscar, you should have been more aggressive last season because it's looking like you're not going to have a chance anytime soon to fight for a championship. Right. Lando's not even going to have a chance to fight for a championship at this point.
Dude, no.
It's a one and done.
Yeah. And like what's unfortunate is that it seems like McLaren is perfectly the best of the rest. Like if it's Mercedes and Ferrari fighting each other, McLaren is like Red Bull can't catch him, and McLaren can't catch the top 2.
Are McLaren even best of the rest right now? They can't even start a fucking race, Sam. I think Haas is best of the rest at this point.
Let's get to Haas in a second. But you're exactly right. We've got a lot of mechanical failures. Another one being Red Bull.
Yeah. Sam. Okay, Sam. I gotta ask. Okay, I've been waiting for this one.
Okay.
No,
We
okay.
should have brought Max on the radio so he could tell us what went on to his car when Kimmy went across the line, and then we could find
Sam,
out.
he's a has-been now. We don't care about a past driver champion.
no
We don't
longer a
care.
champion. Okay.
Yeah. Okay,
Sure.
Sam.
Sure.
So, Red Bull looking a little rough right now. We
Yeah.
can just say that with
little.
confidence. Okay, Max hates his life. He hates this regulation,
Yep.
which it is what it is.
Sure.
So I've been seeing memes all up and down social media the past 2 days about Max is like washed. It's like there's this nostalgia feel about Max as champion, which is crazy because I remember when it was Lewis was the guy that was getting these types of edits, and now a beautiful one that I saw earlier was the Lightning McQueen one. McQueen is fading fast. Sam, how do you feel right now as a Red Bull fan, as a Max Verstappen fan, at the situation that now him and the team are facing?
I'm so glad you asked, Ryan, because I feel like I get to put this on the record. I'm at peace with it. I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I told you after Max won his championship number 3 and championship number 4 that I was fine if Max actually never won another championship because I feel like he proved what he needed to prove to me as a fan. And the fact that I have no doubts still to this day that Max is a great driver. You put him in a Mercedes, you put him in a Ferrari, like he's going to do wonders kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
I have no doubt. Whereas like last year, and I know Lewis has made his way back, but last year Lewis had a horrible year. He just did.
He did.
And so like if you're a fan of that, that's hard to watch. To me, I'm okay. I'm aware that the car is crap. And I think we need to shift our perspective a little bit. That we talk about how Aston Martin should maybe get a little bit of leeway by introducing all these like new engine, new philosophy, new people, Cadillac, brand new team starting out, Audi, their new ventures. Red Bull is doing a brand new thing by designing their own engine, and that hasn't happened in a long time. So I think it's fair to say that there's going to be gremlins. There's going to be some growing pains. So to me, I wish that they lived up to what the preseason brought to them. But the fact that they aren't isn't a huge surprise to me. And I'm not like pulling my hair out what little ones I have, at like the fact that Max is no longer on the top step. Because I still have full confidence in Max's driving ability. And it would be painful for me if he left F1. But I'm okay with it. And honestly, Ryan, I feel like I can watch these races in a little bit more of an objective stance and to watch and really appreciate Ferrari and Mercedes. I have my guys that I wish would do a little bit better, but honestly, whoever does it, I'm okay with it. I'm happy with it. Lewis getting podium, awesome. Leclerc getting Lewis over Lewis, awesome. Kimi win, George win, it's fantastic. If Max was like actually fighting there's always a little part of my heart that's like, come on, you can do it. Me, like I'm just sweating. So like as a fan, honestly, man, I'm at peace with it. I'm at peace with it. I'm cool.
And I appreciate that. I was genuinely just curious to see how you're feeling now because like it just seems like I'm seeing on the internet now, like I said, these edits that Lewis used to get, and now it's Max's turn to get it. And like obviously, when you're at the top, you're going to hit. Yeah. You're not going to be at the top at some point. It happens to everyone. So I wanted to see what you were feeling. I appreciate you being fully honest about that. I really do. And it is just crazy to see like, I guess the rise and fall. Honestly, like I've seen it from start to finish now as a F1 fan of Max as a contender, a champion, and now on unfortunately the descent. Maybe they get it turned around and maybe they're more competitive at some point this season. But you're right, like. Building their own powertrain is a whole different animal. So yeah there's going to be issues involved with that.
And you can't have like years of dominance. Like every dominance is going to end. Like you would have to make a match. Like the only way that this would have pulled off that Max was like a god, would have been that he jumped ship to Mercedes right now.
Yeah,
or Ferrari.
Imagine Sam. Imagine if he would have left to go to Mercedes.
I know it would have been so cool. It would have been fantastic. It would have been amazing. But like, look at Lewis and Hamilton's era, right? Look at Mercedes' era, right? Fantastic from 2014 to 2020, and then for an entire regulation set, they were on the back foot for the entire last 4 years. Back foot, little podiums here and there, race wins here and there, and then when the new rules came out, they came out swinging. They're coming out winning. You know, it's not realistic to expect the best of the best. I guess we thought that at least Red Bull would be top 3, and the fact that they are most likely behind McLaren, and a lot of this could be track specific because Hadjar qualified P3 in Australia. You know,
Yeah,
so
that's very true too.
it was surprising that they didn't do anything in China. So maybe there's another track where they succeed again at. So let's just pump the brakes, see what happens for the next 6 races. I don't expect much. I really don't. But who knows? Who knows? But I'm okay with it.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the honesty from you. I really do. Let's talk Haas and Alpine because I feel like they are actually pretty okay right now.
Dude, I'm telling you what, Esteban Ocon needs to be looking over his shoulder because Behrman is no longer a rookie, man.
Behrman is creating his case as he was last season for his stake at a Ferrari seat eventually. When there is one open, it is Behrman's for the taking. Absolutely, man.
I think so.
I love it. I love it so much.
Dude,
yeah, he's killing
Behrman
it.
is P5 in the driver's standing. Haas is P4 in the driver's standing.
Dude.
Because of Behrman.
I know. Dude. Americans. Woo!
Dude, they're doing fantastic. I can't say any more. Like, honestly, like that's such an achievement. It's such an achievement.
It really is. And I mean, even Alpine too this weekend. Alpine looked really good too. I mean, fuck, man. If I would have taken your high risk bet of getting them both on a top 10 finish, I would be sitting pretty on the bet slip right now. And I'm so mad I didn't take that. But also, it took 7 cars either not starting or retiring from the race for that to happen. Let's just also recognize that. But still, Alpine and Haas today, there were some laps in the middle part of the race where all 4 of them are right next to each other just battling it out.
Dude,
and it was so
cool.
fun.
That was so cool.
Going back to what we just said earlier in this fucking pod, Sam, I love these regulations because we're getting so much action all over the grid, all over the track. It is great. And Franco looked great too. I mean, at one point, he was fucking 3rd in the race.
Dude.
Obviously, he got passed pretty quickly, but that's okay. Like, even they, I think Jensen said Franco got hugged by Flavio yesterday after qualifying, Sam.
Yeah.
You know how happy Flavio has to be with Franco to want to hug him?
Do you know how
Good job.
scary that it has to be? Like, am I going to get stabbed in this moment? Or
is it the kiss of death?
Yeah, exactly. Dude, he got spun out by Ocon. You know, and for him to come in and finish in the points, and like, yes, you know, cars need to, you know, things need to happen for them to get in these positions. But hey, you got to be there to win it. I'll tell you what, because I watched the race in the morning, right? And I was on TikTok, and I saw just briefly an F1 post. My eyes glazed. I literally like did not look at too much because I didn't want to see it.
Yep.
But the little I saw was like, is this what you want? 6 cars DNFing? Are the regulations that good? I'm like,
yeah,
buddy, dude, in the 80s and the 90s, cars did not finish all the time. The reason why the point system is the way it is, that they only give out the points to the top 10, is because they only had 14 out of 20 cars finishing.
Yeah.
You know, last year and the last 2 to 3 years is an outlier that all these cars are finishing consistently.
Yes. And like,
this is return to form.
Yeah, sure, sucks for the teams, sucks for the drivers, but this is part of Formula One. You know, either you get it right or you don't, and you pay the price for it. And I love it. I really do. It provides so much more spice. I watched the race in the morning like you because, goddamn, I was not staying up till 2 a.m. to start the race. So when I woke up to see that Albon wasn't starting, and then both McLarens weren't starting, I was like, holy hell, what did I miss all of a sudden? Like, it's just crazy that, you know, they were fine for the sprint race, fine for qualifying, and then an hour before they have to go out on track, they're like, we have a problem with the electrical system. Sorry, boys, you're not driving today. It's chaos, and I love it. I'm here for it.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
But speaking of issues with teams and reliability, Aston Martin, Sam.
Dude.
Fernando, I mean, he survived 30-some laps today. I think that is a little bit of an improvement. I mean, he was losing feeling in his hands.
I was going to say, they might lose Fernando Alonso's hands by the end of the year. I did not see it, but I heard that, like, it took some like effort to get his hands off of his wheel, off of his
Dude, really?
driving column. I heard that from it was the official F1 podcast on my way home today. That's what I heard it from. I need to go back and watch it, but yes, that's some and that's I guess that's from the Honda vibration, the engine vibration throughout the car. I think Aston Martin made a bad decision by making Adrian Newey team principal. I think to me that doesn't make sense. It's the same thing that happened when Mattia Binotto was team principal for Ferrari. Mattia Binotto was like head of the engineering department. Now Mattia is still in F1 now.
Yeah, he's with Audi.
He's with Audi as the head of the engineering. So like, I think it takes a certain type of person. Just because you're good in one area in F1 doesn't mean you're good in everything. Christian
Agreed.
Horner was not a great, engineer or aerodynamics, but he knew how to put together a team. Toto Wolff is the definition of businessman. Like if you go look how he got into the sport, he is a businessman through and through. He is a James Bond villain.
Sam, I want to interject real fast about that. Have you heard about the drama unfolding when it comes to buying stake in Alpine?
So I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, Christian Horner's trying to get back into F1, but he wants a stake into the team. Like he wants percentages.
Yes.
And so which team would Alpine?
It's Alpine. Alpine is his best chance to getting back into the sport, and he's trying to buy, I think it's 24% of the stake, and he would get himself to slither way in.
Someone else is getting a little side action in there. Someone else is trying to buy him out.
Toto already just submitted an offer that is, I guess, substantially higher than what Horner was offering.
Ooh. I'm surprised that's allowed, to be honest with you. Like,
I agree.
Interest, to be honest,
I do agree with you there that it does seem like a conflict of interest. However, I do love that even though Horner is not on the grid, Toto is like,
still
fuck you. You will never come back to the sport, Horner.
Yeah, he's like
I will make sure of it.
He's actively trying to stop Voldemort from coming back.
I mean, honestly, he's doing Formula One a favor, I think, Toto, this time. I do not want to see Horner back in Formula One.
I could honestly, Ryan, I could see Aston Martin maybe selling some shares for that.
Oh God, honestly, that would make sense. You got fucking
makes sense.
It's owned by Epstein anyway, Mr. Epstein Island.
Just put all the evil machinations in one team, man. Just
yep,
either the French or the Epstein team. I don't care.
Both are horrible anyway. Whichever one you want to pick, but so yeah, that's just been another piece of news that I've been seeing circulating right now.
I heard a little bit about that.
Yeah. But either way, I think Aston Martin is slowly improving the reliability or the survivability.
Just because they did 10 more laps, that means nothing. Talk to me when they finish a race, Ryan.
Sam, baby steps. Sam, it's baby steps. Okay,
baby. I will give you that. I'll give you that.
It's baby steps. It's baby steps. Okay. If 40-some-year-old ancient Fernando Alonso can survive 10 more laps in that coffin of a car,
as he comes out like looking like a baby Voldemort,
there's progress. Okay. Well, hold on, Sam. Is it Newey's fault or is it Honda's fault?
It's definitely. I mean, I don't know. I'm going to say Honda's
engine is causing the vibration.
Yes, I agree. But the point I was trying to make was just because you are good at one field, like if Newey, like how much can Newey design a car if he's running the whole goddamn team?
Yeah, okay, that's fair.
Like why can't he just stay in his corner and do the thing that he's good at?
Well, Sam, because he's a god, surely he can do everything.
Yeah, the hubris, the hubris of that statement for Newey might be his downfall.
Yeah, very true. Another team that's I feel like just held together by glue at this point is Cadillac. I don't know if you saw the sprint race when Sergio
the glue
got
is coming off. Literally, I thought like Perez's car was coming apart at the seams.
Dude, he got a whole penalty. He got a 5-second penalty because literally they showed the clip of his car going down the back straight in the sprint race, and I'm telling you, the whole back of the car just exploded. It flew all over the track.
Dude, I was looking to see who did he wreck into? His heart is. I was like, okay, all right.
Well, okay, you know how everyone has been saying and praising Cadillac because it's a miracle that they were able to get this car built in time to race. I'm now understanding what they mean, that it's a miracle that it's even on track, because it is literally held together by Elmer's glue and duct tape and scotch tape in some parts. Yeah, and a prayer. I mean, hey, good for Cadillac. You're working through it, but that car is very shady at best right now.
Hey, there's a bucket of teams that I'm like, it's okay, Rocky, you go when you want to.
Yep, and Cadillac's one of them.
Cadillac is in there. Aston
Absolutely.
Martin is in there a little bit. Red Bull's right at the top. There's just teams where it's like, it's fine. Do your best.
Yeah.
And Cadillac gets the biggest. Cadillac gets the biggest grace ever.
They get
for at least a year.
Absolutely, they get a full year of grace in my mind, because holy God,
next year,
literally, I want to. I just want to say, the way that I see that car on track is kind of like how I used to have to drive my minivan. For those of you who don't know, I used to have to drive a minivan in high school. And if you got to a certain speed in that car, literally the chassis would just start to shake, and I mean uncontrollably. And I just feel like that is Sergio and Valtteri right now whenever they are driving down the back straight in China. So I feel for them a little bit. I feel for them.
Hey, they beat Ocon. One of them beat Ocon. So, like I said, his days are numbered. Ryan, the points have been doled out. A lot of teams did not even make it to the grid. A lot of teams didn't even finish the last lap. I would like to know what is going on in the world of Ryan's point system.
Sam, I'm just going to preface this with, I already like the new point system that we have concocted, because holy chaos. I'm just going to lead it with that. We'll start with constructors. P1, Mercedes, and also this is with the sprint race too. So you have the sprint race and the regular race. And sprint race, as a reminder, is a complete aggregate like last year. So it's just reverse order, tack on a fastest lap for whoever gets it, as long as you cross the line. So P1 right now is Mercedes with 175 points, Sam. P2 is Ferrari with 144. 3 is Haas with 89. Here's where it starts to move around a little bit. 4 is now Alpine with 76. They moved up 2 positions. 5th is Racing Bulls with 71. They dropped down 1 position. 6th is Red Bull with 59. They moved up 1. 7th is McLaren with 58. They dropped down 2 positions. 8 through 11 is the same. Williams with 51. Audi with 36. Cadillac with 29. Aston Martin with 11. Aston Martin didn't have any points in Australia, so, I mean, a little bit of an improvement. Now,
well, I was going to say...
Oh, go ahead.
With your Constructors Championship, what I was going to say was, I was like, damn, Racing Bull's doing better than Red Bull? That's kind of crazy. But, in the real championship, they're tied. Red Bull and Racing Bulls is tied for 5th and 6th at 12 points. So,
not that far off.
Crazy. Not kind of crazy.
Now, may I direct you to the Drivers' Championship? And also, as a reminder, for people who are watching this, I color-coded. If you improve or move up at all in the rankings, you get green. If you drop down 1 position, you get yellow. If you drop down 2 positions, it's orange. 3 or more is red, if you drop down that much. So, 1 through 4 stayed the same again. So, P1 is George with 89. 2 is Kimi with 86. 3 is Charles with 73. 4 is Lewis with 71. Here's where it starts to get a little dicey. 5 is Oliver with 55. He moved up 2. 6 is Pierre with 45. He moved up 4, Sam. 7 is Liam with 44. He moved up 6 positions in just 2 races, Sam. Or 1 race. 8 is Landa with 41. He dropped 3. 9 is Max with 35. He dropped 3. 10 is Esteban with 34. He moved up 1. 11 is Carlos with 33. He moved up 3. 12 is Franco with 31. He moved up 2 positions. 13th is Arvid with 27. He dropped down 5, unfortunately. We have a tie for 14th with Gabriel and Isaac at 24 apiece. They both dropped 5 positions, respectively. And then 15th is Sergio at 19. He stayed the same somehow. 16th is Alex with 18. He dropped 5 positions. Oscar is actually moved up 3 positions to 17th with 17 points. Wow, didn't even realize that till just now. 18th is Nico with 12. He moved up 3 positions. 19th is Valtteri with 10. He dropped 1 position. 20th is Fernando with 6 points. He dropped 3. And 21st right now is Lance with 5 points. He dropped 5 points. Or 5 positions, I should say.
Interesting.
That is the point system as of right now. It is a lot of movement in between just 2 races, Sam. So a lot more chaos compared to last year, I will say.
Well, I think you're getting a lot of movement because we're having, well, like 4 people didn't even get
Yes.
points at all. You know.
Yeah, there is the huge reliability issue to recognize too, so that is something. But officially though, everyone does have points now on the board at least. You
Okay.
know, whether it was from sprint, whether it was from the race, everyone does have something on the board at least.
Okay. Well, interesting to know. Well, we will keep up with this throughout the year and see where the points lie. I think it's interesting, and I like it so far. It's nice to see that kind of movement. So we'll see what it looks like here in 5 to 6 races.
Well,
Well, Ryan, do you want to get into our awards then?
yeah, I would love to. I'll be honest, Sam. I think I'm gonna be leading into you this time around.
Oh.
It was kind of hard for me to figure out. I'll be honest.
I'll tell you what. I think I got a couple ready. So we can start with our designated driver. This is the driver that you can trust to get you home, give you a good performance. You can rely on. Now, my designated driver for the 2026 Chinese Grand Prix ride is Oliver Behrman.
Sam, me too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I thought he did excellent.
Yeah.
I mean, he got what? I think it was P5. Was it?
Yeah,
not?
he got 5th.
You know, 5th place in a Haas, which is right below the Mercedes and the Ferraris. Like literally the next best car. Is quite insane. He had to beat everybody to get there. He had a great drive. For a second, I thought you were going to go with Kimmy.
No.
And that would have been respectful, but
I also don't want to go with basically the driver of the day for Formula One. Like, hats off to Kimmy. He had a great time, but like to do this in a Haas, to also have battles with people and to still come out in 5th place is very impressive to me. So yeah, I'm glad that you agree with designated. Absolutely.
All right, we got that on lock. That's Kimi Antonelli is our designated driver.
Hey, wow.
Now, Ryan,
Why Kimmy?
Oh God, because one of your podcast hosts has had a little bit too much to drink, just much
Chat,
like our
get him
drunk
outta
driver
here.
of the day.
Whoop whoop.
Our-
This is the sound of the police.
Our designated driver is Oliver Behrman. So so we always have a drunk driver, somebody who had a little bit too much to drink. You definitely should be taking their keys away from them. If you're relying on me, Ryan, I have a drunk driver. Do you have one by chance?
I do. I have an option for all of them, but like
Okay.
it kind of just depends. My option is the other Haas driver and Esteban Ocon.
Yes,
Sam.
sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Dude.
you see an oncoming car, you see a car ahead of you, and you decide to crash into them and spin out. And I mean,
No.
good on
dude.
Ocon for being like, it was my fault. It absolutely was his fault. But yeah, like you should have known better, buddy.
That is the equivalent of like somebody in your intoxicated state that you wanted to merge. You saw like literally he just had a bad judgment call. He saw somebody kind of like going slow and he's like, I can fit right into that gap and be fine.
If you no longer go for the gap, you're no longer a racing driver,
Exactly.
Sam.
And he got it so wrong, and like that's something that in your like drunken stupor, you're like, I can fit that, I can get in there, and it did
I can
not
fix that.
work. Yeah, I did not work at all. I agree. So Esteban Ocon, like he had the most egregious, wreck I think, besides maybe Hadjar getting into a wreck in lap. No, Hadjar just spun out himself. He didn't even touch anybody. Lap 1 or lap 2, which was like that was kind of crazy to see as well. But okay, we're in agreement for the 2 now.
But also, real fast, speaking of Hadjar, in that moment, Behrman almost T-boned the shit out of Hadjar in that moment and
He
had
went
the
wide.
reaction to get out of the way and still got 5th. So
Still
yeah,
got 5th. That is
absolutely
impressive.
designated driver for sure.
So that leads us to our Mad Dad, pissed off experienced driver.
Okay, this is where
I
I'm
can
gonna
think
need
of one, but this is hard.
I'm gonna need to lean in on your opinion here, but like my pick, Sam, is Oscar. Because like he first off hasn't got to race at all this season. Okay, you gotta feel gutted at this point.
Gosh.
And the way that he was talking about it in his interview during the race was just like very defeated, but like it's not even like he's like it's not mad, I'm disappointed.
No, it's not even that. It's not Mad Dad, it's Sad Dad.
Yeah,
Which is
he is the sad
That's
dad.
hard.
You know,
Like, no, Papa, no.
yeah, yeah, that might be better. He might be the sad dad of the week if we were to give out another award. What's your pick?
The oh man, I think everybody had like a fun time, and nobody was
Yes.
like, nobody was like angry at anybody. Nobody had
Yeah.
like nobody had like bad calls, anything. The only one I was gonna maybe even try to pitch to you was Max Verstappen.
I'm happy with Max. I think that's fair.
Okay.
With the way he's been interviewing and just talking about how much he hates the regs, I
Just
think
in
that's fair.
general.
Because like
Yeah.
truly, I feel like no one was that pissed off this race. So
I agree.
sure, Max,
agree.
you were the new dad anyway. Congratulations.
default.
You're also a mad dad.
Congratulations, you won. Well, Ryan, we have a couple weeks off until Japan. That's in 2 weeks. I think this is actually a little bit. I was about to go into what I expect from it, but we have a whole episode dedicated to that. We have a Japanese preview episode with our predictions and a little bit extra. Chat, let us know what you thought about Sam's proposal to Ryan, his bet proposal. Anything else, Ryan?
Chat,
Anything
help
else
me
you
out.
wanna mention?
Chat, help me out there. Chat, I just want to say, I'll give you my hot take. I think Ferrari does take a win in Suzuka. I'll reaffirm that in our preview episode, Sam.
You know what, Ryan? I think I'm going to make a lot of Ferrari-based bets for you next week. I think I'm
Okay.
gonna have a red bet split.
Oh God. Okay. Let's see it, buddy. Let's see it.
Oh yeah. Well, I'll catch you then. See you in a couple weeks.
See you, buddy.